Hi, this is Joe Kerr. I'm a retired fire captain with the Orange County Fire Authority. This is a project for Columbia Southern University for Unit 6. The Orange County Fire Authority was created in March 1995 from the throes of the world's largest municipal bankruptcy, which occurred December 6, 1994. When the County of Orange went bankrupt, we had to create an organization of the Joint Powers Authority structure in the state of California so we could keep emergency services going for the citizens of Orange County. The Fire Authority was then created in March 1, 1995. They currently have a budget of $470 million, 1,300 personnel, about 1,000 of them are emergency responders in the field, and they respond to about 142,000 calls for service every year. They run out of 72 fire stations, which is 133 engine companies, mostly Type 1s, 22 ladder trucks, 3 hazmat units, a heavy rescue, 13 wildland engines, mostly Type 3s, 2 bulldozers, and 4 helicopters. The predecessor fire agency was the Orange County Fire Department, created by executive order of Governor Brown, March of 1980. And prior to that was the State Fire Department, California Department of Forestry. So we've had a background in forestry, urban, suburban, in the history of the Orange County Fire Authority and Orange County Fire Department. The project I'm doing today is on equipment or training need of the OCFA. And one of the things we need to look at is 4.0 staffing on all of our BLS engines. About 15, 20 years ago, we front-loaded the Orange County Fire Authority. We took paramedic vans out of service that had 2 personnel on them and took one of those people and put them on 3.0 staffed fire engines to make a 4-person paramedic engine. The engines left behind were then BLS engines in stations that didn't run as many calls, and those BLS engines are pretty much all 3.0 staffed. Some are PAUs, paramedic assessment units, with at least 1 paramedic on board. I think upstaffing all the engines to 4.0 under NFPA 1710 would increase our effectiveness 25 to 30%. That's according to an IAFF national fire staffing study we did about 15 years ago through several universities and the federal government here in the United States and Canada. The funding would come from SAFER grants. We've done this before where we use SAFER grants to offset the initial costs of the transition of funding those positions. And then later on that money would be offset by city contracts and the structural fire fund within the Orange County Fire Authority. We believe that this will increase the effectiveness of those engine companies, lower workers' comp costs, lower disabilities, lower industrial retirement, increase greater flexibility, and the whole goal of going to 4.0 staffing is basically to keep small fires small. California is plagued with fires right now, and it's very difficult to go out to a brush fire, wildland urban interface fire, structure fire, especially when near the wildland, and with 3 personnel and try to be as effective as an engine company would be with 4 personnel. So I think the financial cost is justified, and a local state study that we did in the past actually underscored that. The Fire Authority has 1,000 firefighters for 1.7 million citizens stretched over about 750 square miles. That's the protection area in a county of 950 square miles and 120,000 acres of watershed. So essentially our firefighters have one firefighter for every 1,700 citizens. The average in the state of California is 1 firefighter for every 1,000 citizens. So our folks are stretched pretty thin. We believe it is justified. I believe SAFER grants designed for this purpose can help offset the costs of the initial funding, and then the funding later on will be picked up by cities, by the county, and by the Structural Fire Fund. And if we offset costs of workers' comp, disability, industrial retirements, and so forth, then in the long run, this will pay for itself. Thanks very much.